Already 2 races left remaining here in the NASCAR Fastenal Cup Series, and the championship battle continues to get closer and closer. However, though, it did come to an end here today, and we'll get more into that a little later as we are here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the second to last race of the Fastenal Cup Series. One more possible shot to at least try to gain on Martin Truex Jr. as the top 10 drivers are still alive in the points, but a lot of them might not be so lucky after this race as we do have a lot of drivers here that could reach the end of the road after today. Sam, this is going to be a very important race for a lot of these drivers here that's trying to stay alive. Of course, everybody that we know in the top 10 is still alive, but will they be able to stay alive after today? Yeah, of course, we saw a chaotic Martinsville race that completely left this championship wide open for a lot of these drivers. And today we're going to find out who stays alive here after the day in Las Vegas. And Jimothy and Simmons, welcome back, guys. I know you missed Martinsville, but glad to have you back after that sickness. Yeah, man, appreciate it. I mean, it was an awful experience. Hated that I had to miss that wild race of Martinsville. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. It's definitely going to be a wild race for sure here in Las Vegas. It definitely will be for sure. And we're going to come right to the chase here as we're about to meet your starting lineup here and see where your favorite drivers will be starting at here in today's race at the Sin City for the South Point 400. For the second time this season, Ryan Blaney's going to start on the pole here today, and last time he's done it, he led every single lap, had dominant performance, and Danny Hamlin's going to start right alongside of him on the front row, trying to keep his season alive and to get his first win of the Fastenal Cup Series. William Byron, who starts third, is eliminated from championship contention, so he's no longer in the championship hunt, but the 22 of Joey Logano still is. However, though, he may be 43 points behind championship leader Martin Truex Jr., but he's still in third right now, and he does start fourth here today. And in row 3, we see drivers that's no longer in the hunt. That would be the 5 of Kyle Larson, shockingly, and the 23 of Bubba Wallace. Both of those guys are no longer racing for a championship, but they're hoping to at least end it off strong. Kyle Larson hoping to get a win, and Bubba Wallace trying to get a second win here as they both start 5th and 6th. And in row 4, we have 2 drivers that are still alive currently as of right now, including the 9 of Chase Elliott, who is currently 9th in the standings, trying to stay alive here. He starts 7th here today. He is one of our danger zone drivers, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him all day today, including this 20 car of Christopher Bell. Although he is currently 4th in the standings, 44 points behind Martin Truex Jr., we got to keep an eye on him today because it's definitely going to be a gutsy battle between these 2 drivers. So be on the lookout for them today to try to keep their season alive. And rounding out the top 10, how about Shane Van Gisbergen finally starting in the top 10 on an oval instead of a road course? However, though, 2 weeks ago, he was eliminated from championship contention, so he's no longer in the hunt. But the 17 of Chris Buescher, though, who is having a dark horse season, is trying to stay alive here today. He goes off here 10th and rounds up the top 10. Alright, in row 6 here, we see the one of Ross Chastain. He is trying to have something happen here after having a miserable season. He does start 11th in row number 6, so great sign for him. And the 48 of Alex Bowman, who was 3rd in the standings after Martinsville, did not even finish that race, and now he drops all the way to 8th, in jeopardy of getting eliminated here today. He has 3 wins so far this season, and he's hoping to try to stay alive with hopefully one more win as he is on a roll here today, something he can't even do in the Cup Series. Another driver we need to keep an eye on for, that's the 6 of Brad Keselowski, who starts 13th. He is deep in the danger zone, and although he's starting pretty decent, it's still going to be a very tough hole for him to dig out of, and we'll get more into that a little later. And on the outside of him in row 7 is the 41 of Ryan Preece. Obviously, he hopes to at least end his season off on a high note as he does start 14th. AJ Allmendinger is going to start in the 15th place position, starts top 15 here today, although he is eliminated from championship contention, and it has been since Phoenix. But how about the championship leader, Martin Truex Jr. in the 19? He did actually clinch the championship here today in Las Vegas. We'll get more into that a little later as we get further on to the starting grid. But in round 9, we see the 45 of Tyler Reddick, our Michigan winner, unfortunately eliminated from championship contention. He is one of our winners that's no longer racing for a championship. So all he's hoping to do now is at least get one more win under his belt, and the 10 of Noah Gragson starts 18th on the outside of him. And in row 10, rounding up the top 20, we see the 34 of Michael McDowell starting 19th of the day, and the 54 of Ty Gibbs trying to make at least a little noise before the end of the season. He does round up the top 20. Jimothy, since you're here, you go ahead and take it away. Yeah, guys, I'm seeing row 11. This is going to be huge because as you see Austin Dillon in the 3, both RCR teammates are both starting alongside of each other, 21st to 22nd. Kyle Busch, who just won at Martinsville 2 weeks ago, currently 15 points right behind him, and he does start in the 22nd position. We're going to have to keep an eye on him because he's going to have to get a really big hole to dig out of if he wants to at least get a little bit closer to Martin Truex Jr., and he needs to try to prevent that 19 of Martin Truex Jr. to clinch the championship a race early. And we also have a lot of guys here from Las Vegas as well, including the 36 of Riley Herbst. He's making his last start here today, and what better time to do it at his home track at Las Vegas. And that 99 of Davis Morris that started alongside of him in that Power Rage Chevrolet. And this is back all the way in row 12. And the row behind them in row 13, we see the 14 of Chase Briscoe and the number 14 bringing back the 4 colors, and the 21 of Harrison Burton trying to at least make some noise here as he does start 26th here today. And in his 5th start, we see Tim Simmons starting 27th in the Raising Cane's colors this week. And in addition, he also has a number change for this week. This time, instead of driving the 97, he's going to drive the 88, and we'll get more into that a little later as we get further on into this grid. But Tim Simmons will drive the 88 car this week, and right there in the 51 car, driven it this week, what do you know, is going to be J.J. Yealy. We talked about it at Sonoma Raceway, how he was potentially going to drive the number 51 car. Well, he has an opportunity to do it here today, making finally his first start on the Fastenal Cup Series. Can't believe it took this long for J.J. Yealy to finally get a ride. And man, in row 15 and 29th, we see the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., which we saw 2 weeks ago in Martinsville. His season came into an end in a heartbreaking fashion after having such a dark horse season in the first half. And the 38 of Todd Gilliland, 33rd in standings. It hasn't been an impressive season for the 38 car of Todd Gilliland. He's just there to try to make a little noise here before the end of the season. And in 31st of row 16, Austin Cindric in the 2, who's having an up and down season, but it feels like a down second half of the 2 car as he does start once again outside the top 30. And right here, the 97 this week is going to be driven by, what do you know? It's Kurt Busch and the 97. Yes, you heard me. Kurt Busch will be racing here today. He made the field. He is going to be starting 32nd here today. Awesome to see Kurt back in a race car, even though it's not real life, but still awesome to see him race here today. And in row 17, we see the 4 of Josh Berry. He's just not been having a great second half as he starts 33rd outside the top 30 again in the 7 car of Justin Haley. The bad stretch continues. He's hoping to at least finish a race here in the second half because, trust me, he has been unlucky so far in the second half. He starts 34th. And there's the South Point car here in Las Vegas. That's going to be starting 35th. That's Daniel Hamrick, our Talladega race winner. And Carson Hocevar, our Busch-Light Clash winner in the 77. Just hoping he can finish the season strong after having a tough season so far. And in row 19, rounding up the field, is going to be the Legacy Motor Club drivers. These guys did not have great qualifying laps, so unfortunately they're going to have to start at the tail end of the field. And obviously this 42 car of Jonathan Nemechek still dead last in points. A horrible season for the 42 of Jonathan Nemechek, and his difficult season continues. And we also mentioned that Simmons Tim is back from the sickness after missing Martinsville. By the way, welcome back, Simmons Tim, and can you give us a little rundown of what the danger zone looks like here this week? And then first of all, thank you for welcoming me back. I'm glad to be back here. And as you can see, the danger zone, it doesn't look as complicated like what we've had in the previous races before. But we do have a lot of guys to look out for, including the 48 of Alex Bowman. As you can see right here, clearly, if Martin Truex Jr. finishes 15th or better, Brad Keselowski is going to be eliminated, unless if he finishes 11th or worse. And as you can see right here, if Martin Truex Jr. finishes 10th or better, it's going to eliminate the 2 remaining Hendrick car drivers, that being the 9 and the 48 of Alex Bowman. However, though, they could also be eliminated if they also finish either 13th or worse for Elliott or 11th or worse for Alex Bowman. But not only that, if Truex finishes 8th or better here today, it's going to eliminate the 11th, the 12th, and the 17th no matter where they finish. And if Truex finishes in the top 5, it's going to eliminate everybody, including the 20 of Christopher Bell. So if it's all said and done, if Truex can finish inside the top 5 here today, that will leave 3 drivers remaining, that being the 22, the 8, and of course the 19 of Truex. However, though, Truex should actually clinch the championship. If you take a look here at this next graphic, Martin Truex Jr. could actually clinch the championship if one of these things happen. Truex obviously needs to win, and if that does happen, he needs to have Busch to finish 3rd or worse in order to clinch the championship. The second scenario is that if Truex finishes in the top 5, he also needs to have Kyle Busch to finish 8th or worse, or Busch or Bell or Logano finishes outside the top 5. There's another scenario that could happen, but however though, if Truex finishes below the top 10 today, one of these 3 needs to happen here. Busch needs to finish outside the top 3, Christopher Bell or Joey Logano to finish outside the top 5, and Kyle Busch finishes outside the top 10. If one of those three happen here, if Truex finishes outside the top 10, Truex could still clinch the championship one race early here in Las Vegas. However, though, these three scenarios needs to happen. If Truex finishes outside the top 15, I would say that the championship hunt will move on to the final race of the Fastenal Cup Series. So yeah, guys, we got a lot of things to look out here for, as we got 7 possible eliminations here in Las Vegas, and Martin Truex Jr. clinching the championship one race early here, guys. Yeah, wow, definitely gonna have a lot of our plates here today, as 7 potential drivers to be eliminated after today, and Martin Truex Jr. can indeed clinch the championship one race early here in Las Vegas. It all depends if Martin Truex Jr. does finish inside the top 10, because those 3 scenarios could still happen. Obviously, Martin Truex Jr. is pretty much in a must-win situation at this point, because if he wins, he has all likelihood to clinch the championship one race early, unless Kyle Busch finishes inside the top 3. So we're going to see how things play out here, as finally we're about to get engines fired here in Las Vegas. Let's go trackside to get those engines fired here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway to start the second to last race of the season.
Drivers, start your engines! Let's go!
Really firing things up here in Las Vegas, as we mentioned, the second to last race of the Fastenal Cup Series. Everybody's really going to have to fight here, as if they want to try to keep their season alive. And also, for clarification, Brandon Poole actually did not qualify here in this race. So, like, once again, for the umpteenth time, the 44 did not qualify, even though he made the race at Martinsville a little less than a week ago. But, Jimmy, I know you're back, and I'm pretty sure you want to do the honors here today. Yes, I do, Sim. Oh, man, I've been waiting for this since I couldn't be there for Martinsville, because I really wanted to say something funny. But since we're in Las Vegas, I'm going to do this now. Guys, my heart's pounding, because, folks, it's time to go gambling. Here we go, green flags in the air. Let's go ahead and roll the dice in Vegas, boys. Ryan Blaney already with a great start already with a push from the 24 of William Byron. Obviously, like we talked about, the 24 of William Byron is no longer in the championship hunt, as he cannot gain enough points on the leader. So he's out there trying to at least race for a win. But Ryan Blaney, who is still in this hunt, our Kansas winner back in race 3. So it's been a while since Ryan Blaney last won a race, but he is still looking for more. As you see, we're going to keep an eye on this 20 of Christopher Bell, as he is one of our danger zone drivers. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on a lot of guys too, including our championship leader, Martin Truex Jr., as he's still right there running in the 17th position. So we're going to keep an eye on that 19 as well, including this 20 car. And one JGR driver is trying to clinch the championship. The other one is trying to save his season. And another one is trying to pass William Byron for second. And that would be Danny Hamlin in the 11, who started second here in this race. Still trying to pass William Byron for third. Wow, you saw right there, William Byron got loose. He's going to lose a ton of positions as he drops back to 5th. Yeah, man, we're going to see a lot of these guys get loose here today. Obviously, we talked about Las Vegas. We saw it a lot in practice. Turn 1 has been a struggle for a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys kept getting loose coming into turn number 1 and to turn number 2. So we're going to see that a lot here lately. And not to mention, guys, they're having speeds around 190 to 200 miles an hour here coming into turn 1. And like what Tim James mentioned, we're going to keep an eye on this 19 of Martin Truex Jr. as he's still running in the 17th position. He started 15th here today. And obviously, we mentioned that he could clinch the championship one race early here today. Obviously, he needs to come back and win to have a great shot to win the championship. However, though, if he doesn't finish inside the top 15, that is more than likely going to bring this championship hunt to our next race, the final race. But we still got a long way to go. We got 54 laps here at Las Vegas, and the 11 of Denny Hamlin is trying to close in on this lead already. Sim, that 11 car is mad hungry. He is still looking for his very first win here in the Fastenal Cup Series. He's been winless up until this point. And that's honestly a shocker to me, because, you know, knowing about how much success that Denny Hamlin has been so far here, how consistent he has been in the series, I'm surprised that he still hasn't been able to capture one yet. Well, he's really trying to close in on this bad bump of the 12 of Ryan Blaney, but it feels like every time that Denny Hamlin has a chance, the 12 is trying to gain away from him, making it difficult for the 11 of Denny Hamlin to pass him.
Well, obviously the 12 and the 11 needs to avoid the 19 finishing 8th here today, but right now, the 19 is continuing to struggle, and this 8 car of Kyle Busch, no different. You guys, he's still stuck in the 21st position, obviously coming off strong with the win at Martinsville a little less than 2 weeks ago.
But one thing I find problematic here for this 8 car of Kyle Busch is that obviously he's currently running second. His competitor right behind him in 3rd place, Joey Logano, 28 points, currently listed 4th right now in this race. Now, obviously, 22 of Joey Logano. Obviously, we mentioned that he is 3rd in the standings right now.
Right now, he is 43 points out of the championship lead behind Martin Truex Jr. And
shockingly, even though it's a big points gap between the 19 and the 22 of Joey Logano still has an opportunity to gain those points, especially not to mention how much the 19 and the 8 are currently struggling. Well, a little lap ago, we saw the 22 of Joey Logano trying to close in on this 5 of Kyle Larson, who is already out of the championship hunt. And guys, just like Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano is also winless here so far.
Yeah, and a lot of guys in the top 10 is winless as well. Obviously, we mentioned the 11 of Denny Hamlin, the 5 of Kyle Larson, but also William Byron, Christopher Bell, and Ross Chastain in the top 10, still currently winless so far. Not to mention Chastain has had a miserable season, but being him in the top 10 is pretty much a saving grace.
Yeah, Chastain is actually running in the 10th place position, so he's currently running in the top 10, but also in the top 10, in the top 5 actually, is our Richmond race winner, Bubba Wallace. Yeah, man, it sucks what happened to him in Martinsville, getting eliminated and whatnot after winning that race to Richmond 3 races prior, but he's obviously trying to end his season off on a high note, and as you can see right here, the 23 is still staying in line with this pack. But this 11 car of Denny Hamlin, we see him trying to close in on this lead again, trying to take the Peter to the inside. Still really quite make his move right here, and he really can't get a run as he's still stuck on the quarter panel of the 12 of Ryan Blaney. But, oh man, we're right here now. They're currently side by side. Can Denny Hamlin get the lead off of 2? Ooh, I don't think so. That 12 car had a strong run exiting out of turn 2, and I think he's probably going to get it here. But they're still putting sort of side by side, but the 5 of Kyle Larson that's trying to give him a push. And this 11 is really trying to get that 12 arrow loose and get him stuck onto the top side. Ooh, it looks like he might do it just now, but now the 11 is stuck on the bottom. Lots of crossover moves. Everybody's jostling for position as they're trying to decide who to follow. Oh man, this 11 car, he got out front slightly by a nose, but the 12 is going to take it right back. Hamlin is trying to charge, trying to take the lead away from the 12, but it feels like every time that he tries to make a move, it really doesn't work as the 12 pulls away, but now the 22 of Joey Logano trying to take 3rd place away.
And it's already getting feisty out front as we saw the top 4 already making moves trying to take the lead away. And I don't know why they're doing it so early. I know they get the memo that every position matters here, not to mention the second to last race. But a lot of these guys here, including the 5, the 23, and the 24, are all eliminated. So, I mean, obviously, I can't say I blame them. There's a lot of guys that are still looking for that first win, including the 24, the 22, and the 5. But we still got 42 laps remaining here in this race. You saw the 9 of Chase Elliott had a little moment coming out of 4. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. I think the 9 of Chase Elliott got loose coming into turn 4. We saw that he was on the apron coming into turn number 4. I don't know if he had a little moment coming out of 4, but he is losing a lot of positions at the 20 of Christopher Bell, now right behind him in 8th.
And guys, there's the one of Ross Chastain, as we talked about, currently in the top 10. He is really trying to have a good race here today after a horrible season that he has been having. He just wants to at least try to finish this season off on a high note. And he's trying to finish a race so far because right now, currently, he's had 4 consecutive DNFs here in these previous 4 races. He really wants to at least get one done here. It really has been a horrible stretch for this one car, Ross Chastain. So him being up here in the top 10 is pretty much a saving grace. But it feels like almost every time that Ross is up here in the top 10, something bad happens to his car.
Yeah, for Ross, it's probably the worst case of bad luck I've ever seen here in this series.
You mentioned it. He was running in the top 10 in Atlanta Motor Speedway. He gets involved in an accident in the closing laps. In Phoenix, he was running in the top 5, and he blows an engine early on in that race, and that's what got him out of championship contention. And obviously, a little less than a week ago in Martinsville, had an oil leak after getting caught up in an accident a little halfway throughout this race. So that one car, Ross Chastain, does horrible luck for that one car.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Ross is getting pretty tired of these DNFs that he's been having every race, and he hopes to finish a race here as he does run in the 9th place position. But meanwhile, Danny Hamlin, we saw him trying to close in on the back bumper of the 12, but lost a lot of momentum. Meanwhile, was continuing to see the 5 of Kyle Larson fall back a little bit. He was in the 3rd place position. He's still in the top 5, currently running 5th right now, but a couple laps ago, he was half a second right behind the leaders. Now he's 1.4 seconds behind the leaders now.
Well, it's something what I mentioned, Sim. A lot of these guys are getting loose here off these turns. Not to mention that these guys are doing well over 190 miles an hour entering into these turns, so it's really not the driver's fault that they're falling back. It's really the car not being able to tolerate this grip that we're currently having here.
Yeah, of course, not to mention that it's nearly 80 degrees here at Las Vegas here so far, so the track temperature is definitely taking a toll here for a lot of these drivers here, and it looks like we got some lap traffic coming into play. They're already about to lap Carson Hocevar, who is having a horrible day so far. Yeah, that 77 car is slow. It really has been a bad season for the 77er Carson Hocevar. But this might even help out the 11 of Danny Hamlin if the 12 is unable to pull it right. Oh my God! Right off the nose of Danny Hamlin, almost went around. That could have been costly for that 12 car Ryan Blaney. Nearly a close call right there for him.
Yeah, I saw Blaney hit the wall just a little bit, and that's what almost got the 12 car Ryan Blaney spinning around. And it's just like you said, Sim, the track temperature is definitely taking a toll. This is going to help out the 24 William Byron. Actually, never mind.
Yeah, it looked like the 24 was trying to close in as well until he got stuck right behind the lap car. Carson
Hocevar now scrapes the wall. Now he had a close call with the 22 this time. It looks like the 23 is also scraping the wall right there just a little bit as I saw him way up the track.
Well, this is kind of convenient. We saw at Martinsville, they were able to get past one car of lap traffic very cleanly, but this time around in Las Vegas, they almost had calamity trying to pass a single lap car, and we're still not even halfway throughout this race. Business is already shaping up.
Well, looks like things are calming down for the moment here.
After a near disastrous moment for the 12 of Ryan Blaney, including a lot of these guys trying to get past a single lap car, but now you see the 11 of Danny Hamlin trying to take a peek into the inside. Not much run there. He made a move a little bit too early right there, and that's really not going to gain him any spots right there. This 12 car Ryan Blaney is just very, very strong. We saw it. He was the fastest in practice, so not a huge surprise seeing him out here. But the 24 William Byron kind of gave the 11 a little bit of a jump boost right there, and we got a lot more lap traffic coming into play, guys. Yep, and here we go again. The leaders are now approaching a lot more lap traffic, this time being both the Legacy Motor Club drivers. How are they able to get through it this time? Oh, now 43 goes down low. I don't know if the 12's going to have any room to try to pass him. He's going to try to pass him right here. That helped the 11 to slightly close in on this 12 car, but the 42 goes down bottom. Is he good? Oh, he's going to go back up top.
And while all this was happening, the 5 car Kyle Larson is trying to make a comeback as he did drop back. Now he's all of a sudden back up here in the 3rd. Here comes the 11 Danny Hamlin once again trying to take the peak. I think he's going to get him right here as the 5 of Kyle Larson is pushing him on the bottom. Yeah, I think the 11's going to get him here. The 12 really doesn't have any help right there up top, but it's still really good. He had a strong entrance once again off of 4. He still has not cleared the 11 car quite yet, but the 5 car of Kyle Larson, now he was really trying to help out the 12. He's going to help the 11 once again, but the 12 car, like I said, he is strong up that top side. This is just incredible, guys. These guys have really been going at it ever since the start of this race, and I'm just very impressed that these guys have been going at it for this long now.
And Ryan Blaney, he's still pulling away from the 11. He is still retaining the lead. I don't know if anybody can stop this 12 car Ryan Blaney. He has been strong ever since they got this car off the hauler. Obviously, he's led the first 26 laps so far. He's trying to do the exact same thing like what he did at Kansas by leading every single lap from the pole and winning that race. He became the first one to do so, and 3 more drivers did the exact same thing. He's trying to become the first one to do it twice.
As we take a look here, yes, Ross Chastain is still alive. He is still currently running in the top 10, currently 9th right now, as well as the 6 of Brad Keselowski, really trying his best to keep his season alive. And for him to stay alive here for at least one more race, the 6 car needs to have this happen. He needs to finish in the top 10, and Truex needs to finish outside the top 15 in order for the 6 car to stay alive. But right now, Truex is continuing to struggle as he's currently 18th right now. Well, and for Brad Keselowski, he needs to finish this race here. A single DNF can actually take him out from championship contention, so even though Truex is outside the top 15 currently right now at the moment, Brad obviously needs to finish 10th or higher in order to stay alive.
Well, bad news for Brad, though. Currently running 10th is Chris Buescher, his teammate. And obviously, Brad has lost. He's currently running 12th. But right now, between him and Chris Buescher, Brad is 1.2 seconds back from Chris Buescher. So he's going to have to get out of a very deep hole in order for him to stay alive. As the 11 car of Denny Hamlin, once again, he is still trying to close in. Yeah, guys, as I look at these lap times, the 12 and the 11 have been pulling out almost identical lap times. So these guys have been pretty dead even on speed, as the 11 is still trying to make a move. The 12 still with a strong entry out of 4. Well, guys, we are approaching with 25 laps remaining here in Las Vegas. We already ran more laps here so far under green than what we saw at Martinsville. Not to mention a record-breaking 7 cautions that we've had at Martinsville. Obviously, it's a record for the most cautions in a Fastenal Cup event. And now the 11 of Denny Hamlin trying to make a peak. Oh, man, he's got a really great entry coming into 3. Well, with the help of the 5 of Kyle Larson. Oh, that got him arrow loose right there. The 12's going to take it right back easily right there. I just tell you what, man, every time that this 11 car trying to make the move, he just can't seem to make it stick. Well, I think people are saying that the dirty air is really a factor here. I think it's a combination of both the track temperature and the dirty air. That's why these guys are getting a little tight trying to make passes. So I think that's why the 11 of Denny Hamlin is struggling to try to get past the 12 of Ryan Blaney. As we see out front, looks like the 11 is trying to still make a move, but he still cannot make it work. And obviously, as we focus on the 24 of William Byron, he's also one of the drivers that is currently winless here so far. He is eliminated from championship contention, so he can no longer race for a championship, of course, since he doesn't have enough points, including the 23 and the 5. So obviously, the main focus is trying to get a win right here. As you see, the 11 now making a move right here, side by side right now for the lead, and it doesn't look like he's still going to get it.
And also, guys, don't forget, we are closing in to our pit road cycle that we're expected to see is going to be taking place around lap 40 to 45 for these drivers.
I know it sounds crazy knowing that it's rapidly closing into the end of the race, but if we can stay green here to the very end of this race, and the main strategy for most of these teams is you gotta try to make the call to pit where a lot of other guys are. And if you do that, you can be in contention with all of those drivers as well to be up front near the end of the race. If we stay green to the very end, though, Simmons, that's the thing. So.
Well, I'm not the real Larry Match, so I think you guys should be okay.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that, Simmons, but we'll see. Meanwhile, in the middle of the pack, we see the 9 car of Chase Elliott trying to make a comeback here as he's currently running in the 7th place position, currently still in the top 10, trying to keep his season alive as well. But it's really going to be tight for both the 48 and the 9, because even if they both finish in the top 10, there still might not be enough points for them to gain on the championship leader. It just depends about where these guys finish. Well, guys, we see the 19 of Truex continuing to struggle. Now he's currently running in the 22nd position.
Oh my, look at the 99 of Suarez. He got right there on the apron right there. And it all happened right in front of the 19.
Yeah, we saw Daniel Suarez way low coming into turn number 1. That's why he got into the apron there. And he lost 2 positions because of that, and might be losing 1 more because the 3 of Austin Dillon is trying to pass him. Well, meanwhile, back out front, really hasn't been any difference in the top 5 so far. It really has just been Blaney, Hamlin, Larson, Wallace, and Byron in the top 5 since pretty much the start of this race here. And now you see the 11 losing a little bit of momentum right here, as the 12 is definitely pulling away from it this time. But this is really the closest that these two have been since the start of this race. But meanwhile, you see the 23 of Bubba Wallace trying to pass Kyle Larson, but he lost a lot of momentum there. This might help the 24 William Byron as he's taking the peek into the inside, trying to pass Bubba Wallace, and this is for 4th.
But he definitely lost a lot of momentum there, so that's going to help the 23 pull away.
And guys, we're approaching more lap traffic. Yes, we are, Tim James. The leaders are approaching more lap traffic now, and this will be the 4 of Josh Berry, and looks like the 77 cars in Hoceval again. And now you see the leaders side by side, the 11 doing one more effort to finally take the lead away from the 12 of Ryan Blaney. The 4 of Josh Berry blocked him just a little bit. That really didn't do much there, as now they both block both of the leaders. Well, obviously, guys, we're getting pretty close to these guys
somewhat pitting around with 15 laps to go. But now the 11 car of Denny Hamlin. Oh, I think he's going to get it right here. The lap traffic car has blocked Blaney on the top side.
Woo! And look out behind him. The 23 of Bubba Wallace had a very close call right there as he was way out into the apron. He's going to lose a ton of spots here. And Bubba Wallace is going to drop all the way to 8th after being right there onto the apron after having a close call right there. Oh, and Denny Hamlin, as we saw right there, takes the lead. He's going to lead this lap. Ryan Blaney led the first 39 laps. Denny Hamlin now leads his first. Here comes the 24 of William Byron. Oh, man, close call right there, like what we saw from Bubba Wallace. Now he's going to drop back. Byron, who was going to try to make it 3 wide potentially for the lead, gets onto the apron. Now he's going to lose a ton of positions now. Oh, and his teammate, the 9 of Chase Elliott, onto the apron again. I'm not sure if he's pinning because he's way down low right here. No, he decides to stay out here. As right now, the 3 wide Chase Elliott's going to lose a lot of positions here. And here goes the 40 of Alex Bowman. We haven't even talked about him all day here today. Obviously, he's trying to at least get a top 10 as the 9 of Chase Elliott continues to drop back.
Yeah, that's bad news for the 9 car. You do not want to be dropping back this late, especially if you're in the danger zone. As you see, Denny Hamlin continues to lead. He pulled away from the 12 car.
And Denny Hamlin already leads by almost a second here. Front straightaway into the grass. Joey Logano.
What?
We saw him getting door slammed by the 4 of Josh Berry, and they both had a huge moment into the grass. That is going to drop him out of the top 10 and probably going to drop him out of contention for this win. Yeah, that was bizarre. I don't know what happened there, but I don't know if there was something that happened between the 4 and the 22, but my gosh, that was insane. And this 12th car of Ryan Blaney, as we can see right now, led 39 laps, but looked like he was going to at least lead every single lap. Lost the lead to Denny Hamlin, and now he is already a half a second behind Denny Hamlin in the 11. And with that moment in the grass by Joey Logano, that puts the 1 of Ross Chastain now into the top 5 right now so far. This would be big if Chastain, if he can finish in the top 5. Well, we're going to take a look at that moment again. We're going to have a replay to see what happened with Logano.
We got a crash!
Spin, front stretch. And Nemechek goes for a spin on the front stretch. He's getting it straight, get it rolling again.
No caution yet. They were going to stay green here. Oh, no, there it is.
Caution. With 12 laps remaining here in this race, this is going to change the complexion of this race.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Simmons
I definitely retained my statement.
Yeah, you definitely pulled a Larry Matt there because,
man.
you know, we were expecting pit stops to take place here in these next couple of laps.
And Sam Timmons is just like what you said. This changes everything.
It sure does. Alright, well, let's take a look at this replay about what brought out the caution. Wow, you saw the 42 John and Nemechek go way up high right there. He scraped the wall, collected the 38, and that's what kicked him around right in front of your championship leader, Martin Truex Jr. as well.
Yeah, that was a great save by the 42 John and Nemechek and a great dodge by the 19 as well.
And we've seen this happen time by time again. You see the 42 John and Nemechek go way up high right there. And look at the 19 of Truex going up top to somehow avoid the 38.
And I tell you what, man, this 19 car, man, always finds a way to avoid accidents. We saw it in Atlanta, we saw it at Martinsville, and we saw it again today here at Vegas.
Oh. Well, guys, here it is from Cash and Reds. As he sees the accident take place, the 42 goes around. It's a great save by the 42 of John and Nemechek as well. Just a single car spin on the front stretch.
Yeah, an impressive save by the 42 of John and Nemechek.
And the 11 car got caught up in the 31 trying to avoid.
My goodness.
Well, I think Denny Hamlin's okay for the most part as we ride along with Martin Truex Jr., a championship leader, as this whole thing happens right in front of him.
Just Truex always just finds a way to avoid these accidents. It's impressive at this point, honestly.
First caution of the day comes out with 12 laps to go here in Las Vegas. And this is from our pit road camera operator. Did you see that? As she sees the 42 spinning around on the front straightaway. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for the restart with less than 10 laps to go here in Las Vegas for the South Point 400. And yes, did you? You did caught that. Well done. Travel. And as we come back from break, we're going to take a look at what happened to Joey Logano as we were trying to see this right before the caution came out. You saw the 4 of Josh Berry actually hit the wall, kind of like what Jonathan Nemechek did to bring out the caution. And he collects Joey Logano with him as they both mow the grass here at Las Vegas. near disastrous moment for Joey Logano. Look at this onboard right here. You can see how fast he's coming right back up the track. Somehow, some way, he did not collect in multiple other drivers. That was a near disastrous moment right there for the 22 of Joey Logano. And after that moment took place, Joey Logano drops all the way to 13th. These guys did end up pitting during that caution period, so these guys now should be good to go as we're back green here in Las Vegas. Now let's see what Ryan Blaney can do. Now since he's restarting here second here behind Denny Hamlin, we saw how strong this 12 car is. And we still got 7 laps to go, so Ryan Blaney has plenty of opportunities to try to pass the 11 as he's already trying to make a move right here. Is he going to get it right here? Well, the 5 and the 24 is pushing that 12 car, so that might have him out. Actually, no, it does not, as Denny Hamlin takes it. Wow. And Denny Hamlin stays out front as Ryan Blaney trying to make
Big crash!
Oh my
The
God.
4 car of Josh Berry
Oh my
gets
God, look out,
tabled by
guys. Oh,
somebody,
good God.
and the
Oh
big
my-
one happened, sponsored by
Oh
Credit
my
One
God.
Bank, up and over to the 99.
My
An
God.
incredible accident. 2 cars flipping as the 99 tumbles down the front straightaway as the 19 looks like it was able to avoid the accident, but a huge wreck here on the front straightaway.
Holy cow, man, that was a big accident. That 99 car took a wild tumble. I just hope he's okay, man.
Yeah, you just gotta hope everybody's okay. I saw a lot of hard hits in that wreck, and, just hope Daniel's okay. I guess he's alright, isn't he? And Kurt Busch's car is destroyed.
Yes, that's for Kurt Busch, man. I'm pretty sure he was having such a great time inside that car. And oh, whoa, the 12 and the 5 looks like made contact with some lap traffic. And yeah, they're gonna bring out the red flag. Not surprising. There's gonna be a huge mess to clean up.
Yeah, and guys, I want to give clarification. The 19 was involved in this wreck. Actually, he got a huge chunk of this wreck, including the 6 of Brad Keselowski. He was also involved in this wreck. Major implications here in Vegas, guys. Oh boy, well, begrudgingly, we're going to take a look here and see what brought out this accident. It looks like it's that same scenario like what we saw from John and Nemechek. Huge shunt right there. Oh man, the 77 just got destroyed by somebody.
Yeah, guys, that 6 car has a lot of damage. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue. And if that's so, that will definitely take him out of the championship hunt.
Yeah, obviously you saw right there, the 4 car got way up high right there. Exactly what we saw from John and Nemechek that brought out the caution early on. And look at these hard hits, man. Oh my goodness. That 77, like you said, looked like he had 2 to 3 hard hits in that wreck as well. That was violent.
And of course, right there, you see how high the 4 car of Josh Berry got right there. It's exactly what we saw from John and Nemechek, like you said, Jimothy.
And really no place to go for these drivers. A hard shot right there by the 4 of Josh Berry by the 77. And look at how many cars pile in. As you see out front right there, the 99 topbles into a barrel roll.
And that thing definitely didn't want to stop rolling, as it was a violent tumble down the front straightaway. And it's just an absolute trash heap on the front stretch.
And guys, if we take a look at this. Had a great shot of this as you see the 4 car of Josh Berry going for a wild ride, including the 99 of Suarez. Look at how many times that car flipped and that amount of speed. I've never seen a car flip that many times. And it's just a violent rollover for sure for that 99. You see Truex, yeah, he's got damage for sure on the 19.
Yeah, that is big. You just gotta hope that damage is corrallable, because it looks like he did get a huge chunk of this accident. Man, it actually almost looked like he was going to avoid that red somehow until the 45 came up in front of him, and that's how the 99 got involved. And that thing looked like just did a wheelie as soon as he hit the wall, causing that car to flip over so violent.
Oh, he got hit again.
And this is from Brad Keselowski in the 6. And obviously he was trying to pass the lap car of Josh Berry until Berry made contact with the wall, goes way up high, and it caused a devastating crash. Look at that shot right there as the 4 goes over the 6 of Brad Keselowski.
And I'm pretty sure that just cost him an opportunity to save his season, as his championship hopes were probably dashed after this accident. Well, here's Shane Van Gisbergen as he sees the whole thing happening right here. Gets a huge chunk right there, and oh my! That 4 car of Josh Berry flipped over on top of 2 cars, and man, it's just a violent accident here as, the 91 slammed into the 43 as he was trying to avoid. There's so much smoke, you can't really see. And that's a shame for Shane Van Gisbergen, and I was having such a great run, and he just hit his teammate that was upside down. But yeah, man, that sucks for Shane Van Gisbergen. He was having such a great run here today, and it's all dashed.
And look at the shot by the 43 of Aaron Jones. He's the one that comes flying in and just completely destroys the 77 and the rest of the field. And it's just like what you said, Sam. There's really not a lot of room for these guys to go to try to avoid the accident. As you see, the 43 gets hit by the 91. But yeah, that 43 car is destroyed.
And well, here it is from Martin Truex Jr., our championship leader. He goes down low to try to avoid the accident this time. Just one that he couldn't avoid, as he got a huge chunk of that. This is definitely going to be huge, knowing that Martin Truex Jr. was struggling throughout this race already. And oh man, guys, I saw the 88 of Tim Simmons involved. He was caught up in that wreck as well. He has a lot of damage, and I don't think he's going to be able to continue.
Yep, the 88 car of Tim Simmons was also involved in this accident as well. As this is from Josh Berry. Hang on. Oh my.
God, you just hear the carnage happening all around him. There was just so many hard hits in that accident. Just a spectacular crash, if you wanted to call it spectacular. But wow, what a view for Barry.
Yeah, guys, Tim Simmons, actually, after the wreck, he got car sick after the wreck because earlier before the race, he actually ate a Caniac combo with sweet tea, and this wreck didn't do his stomach any justice, and he threw up sweet tea inside his car after the wreck, and now him and his car smells like sweet tea, guys.
Oh no!
Ugh, yeah, that's definitely a rough situation to be in, especially after a wreck, so hopefully Tim Simmons is okay. But guys, right along with Ryan Preece, he has a bird's eye view of everything. The wreck started right in front of him. He avoids the first half of this wreck, and his teammate Josh Berry actually flips on top of him. The contact was made right there. But watch the 99. He slides into view, and it all happens right in front of him. And you can see how fast this 99 car was flipping into the air.
And Ryan Preece somehow avoids it. But I'm pretty sure when he was watching that 99 tumbling, I'm pretty sure he got PTSD just watching that.
Unbelievable. Wow.
It was definitely a wild view to watch from the 41 of Ryan Preece as he avoided that accident. The A car was able to avoid that accident too. And oh boy, guys, we're about to ride along with Daniel Suarez. He actually almost avoided this accident somehow until the 45 of Tyler Reddick, who was trying to avoid the accident, came up in front of him, and then chaos ensues afterwards.
My God, that just completely destroyed the antenna off that thing. Just a violent tumble for Suarez and a huge crash.
Well, here it is from the flat stand in real time.
My gosh.
Wow.
Yikes. And that's what happens when somebody makes a bad mistake on their part, and that's how this whole accident transpired. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and please keep your fingers crossed, folks. We'll be right back.
Unofficially, 17 cars were involved in that big one at the front straightaway, with Daniel Suarez and Josh Berry both flipping. I want to give an update that Josh Berry did walk out. He is okay, but for Daniel Suarez, though, for a precautionary measure, Daniel Suarez is going to be taken to a local hospital here at the Las Vegas area. And once again, this is for further evaluation, and of course, it's not even real. So, and guys, because of that red flag, we're going to have a one-lap shootout. Never seen this before. This is going to be the first time that we're ever going to see this. A one-lap shootout here to decide it all. And can Danny Hamlin do it? As they cross the white flag, one-lap shootout here in Las Vegas. Danny Hamlin pulls away. I think he's got this. It was definitely a great restart for the 11 of Danny Hamlin, and I think that pretty much seals the deal right there. Danny Hamlin coming to the bat straightaway, trying to bring it home. And we talked about how hungry Danny Hamlin has been to get his first win of the season. He's been winless up until this point, and finally looks like race 14 is going to be the charm as they rolls the dice at the right time. Danny Hamlin wins here at Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, fellas, great work, DH.
It's about time Danny Hamlin got him one. I mean, he's been so consistent throughout this whole entire season. You know he was bound for one, so great job for Danny Hamlin. What a battle between the 11 and the 12.
Yeah, man, that was some crazy stuff, man. That 11 and the 12 have been battling on throughout the whole entire race, and that's awesome to see Danny Hamlin finally getting a win. Great job to him.
And guys, we got some major stories here. Kyle Busch finished 16th, Truex finished 21st, Elliott and Bowman finished in the top 10. However, though, as we look right here in the point standings,
they are not going to have enough to gain on the championship leaders.
No.
So, the 6, the 48, and the 9 will be eliminated here at Las Vegas. But however, though, for the 17, the 20, and the 22, they were able to avoid Truex finishing in the top 10, so they're going to stay alive for one more race. And obviously, Truex does not claim the title here today. So, the championship race is going to go down to the last race of the season. And obviously, the 11 and the 12 stays alive as they both finish 1 and 2. Finally, first win for Denny Hamlin here at Las Vegas. And Ryan Blaney, obviously, 39 laps led. Denny Hamlin leads the final 15.
And guys, look at right here in the 5th place position. Ross Chastain finally finished one. And guess what? He got his first top 5 of the season. About time for Ross Chastain to get a top 5. And for him to finish a race.
Yeah, definitely for sure, but I'm definitely heartbroken for the 48 and the 9. They did everything that they could. They did everything that they needed to do. They finished in the top 10 like what they need to do, but apparently they still do not have enough points to gain. That's very tough for the both of those guys. All of Hendrick is out. Shocker. Yeah, obviously Christopher Bell and Chris Buescher were able to keep their season alive, so they're going to battle it out for the championship next race as both of them finish inside the top 10. Obviously, as we see right here, Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, 15th and 16th. We saw how close Joey Logano was to meeting disaster when he was in the grass on around lap 41, I believe, with Josh Berry in the 4 car. That really cost him because he was running in the top 5 pretty much all day. And when that happened, he fell back and just couldn't get back up. Yeah, and of course that 8 car was struggling to find the speed. He was running mid-pack pretty much all day. Not a great day for Kyle Busch as well, especially coming off strong from a win at Martinsville. But I heard actually is going to be a very close gap between the 19 and the 8 now, as they both finished outside the top 15.
Yeah, and how about AJ Allmendinger in the 16, coming home 12th after being involved in that big one on lap 49. Big credit to him.
And of course, as we see right here in 21st, our championship points leader, Martin Truex Jr., he does not clinch the title here today because obviously he finished outside the top 20. He needed a win, either finish top 5 or top 10, and he probably would have clinched it, but since he finished outside the top 20, is going to have to go to the final race now.
Yeah, and obviously that puts a lot more pressure on that 19 of Truex because he probably would have smooth sailed into a win, a top 5 or a top 10 today, but he was struggling all day today. He just couldn't find the speed as he was stuck well below the top 15 all day. So definitely a tough pill to swallow, knowing that he's going to have to be very cautious when we move on to the final race of the season.
And of course, right there in 30th, we see the 99 of Daniel Suarez. Massive tumble, a violent flip for Daniel Suarez coming into the front straightaway on lap 49. Obviously, Daniel Suarez is what all of us are thinking about right now. We're obviously hoping that he's okay. Obviously, as we mentioned, that he was taken to a local hospital for further evaluation. But yeah, hopefully he's going to be okay. And that was definitely a violent accident nonetheless.
Absolutely, it definitely was. And as you see in the remainder of this field, the remaining 8 cars here on this list were all the drivers that were involved in that accident was unable to continue, including the 6 of Brad Keselowski. He did not need a bad finish. He needed to finish inside the top 10 for him to at least try to stay alive. He definitely would have if he finished this race and finished in the top 10. But after that DNF that he had, he is also eliminated from championship contention. Such too, because he was in the top 2 at the beginning of the season in points. Yeah, obviously a tough break for Tim Simmons in that 88 car and that small team of Nighthawk Motorsports Incorporated. 3rd straight DNF for them. That's definitely not a great stretch for them so far. And as well as the 97 of Kurt Busch. It was nice to see him back in the car, even though it's not real life, but such that he was involved in that big accident on lap 49. Just hopefully that everybody's okay. Obviously, we just gotta hope that Suarez is okay, obviously, and as well as Tim Simmons after he got car sick after that wreck. And yeah, that was definitely a brutal accident, but just glad for everybody, for the most part, is okay and watching.
Absolutely. And here's what the point standings look entering in the final race. Martin Truex Jr. now up by 9 points. It is going to be a very close championship battle between the 19 and the 8.
I think those two have a real shot to winning this championship. Yeah, because everybody here in the top 7 that is still alive, pretty much everybody below the top 2 are launch shots pretty much, and including the 20 of Christopher Bell, who jumps up to 3rd after this, because he's 28 points behind Martin Truex Jr. So he has enough time to gain. All just gotta have to happen is both Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch to have very bad days, and Christopher Bell to be out front of them. He needs chaos to at least have a shot.
Yeah, especially you see Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, and Joey Logano, who's below the top 4. They need chaos to happen in this last race because they're separated by 35 points. And even though they still have enough to gain, the next race only secures at least 40 points maximum. So it's going to be a tough battle for them. It's going to be a launch shot. So everybody here in the top 7 needs chaos for them to at least have a shot.
And wow, guys, I can't believe it. We're closing into the final race already. The season's already almost over.
That's right. We got one race left to go here in the Fastenal Cup Series. And what better way to end the season by moving on to the most famous short track that everybody loves. It's the Bristol Night Race, here for the final race of the season at Bristol Motor Speedway. It is also known as the NASCAR Fastenal Cup Series Championship, and these 7 drivers will go on to fight for a title.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to it. 6 months coming into here, leading up to this moment. 7 drivers will be racing for a title, and it's definitely going to be fun to watch too, because if it's at Bristol Motor Speedway, then we're in for a really good show.
Yeah, man, I love Bristol to death, man. Bristol has been one of my favorite tracks to go to. The atmosphere is incredible. The racing is incredible. Although it hasn't been, IRL for the NASCAR Cup Series IRL. But I'm still looking forward to this, especially what we saw after today. I think we're due for another great race to at least end off the season on a very high note.
Well, I'm glad you guys are excited for this race, and I hope you fans are too. Only one race left to go here in the NASCAR Fastenal Cup Series. And then just like that, the season will be over. I can't believe it's already come down to this, but the championship is now in hand for one more race until we crown a champion. I hope you guys are ready for that. For Bristol Motor Speedway, it will come out at least 2 weeks or so because we already have the date scheduled for it, and it's going to take place on March 20th, 2026 for the NASCAR Fastenal Cup Series Championship, or also known as the Bristol Night Race, for the final race of the NASCAR Fastenal Cup Series season. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Mark your calendars down so that way you don't have to miss it. Be there or be square. Until next time, guys, we're going to sign off our coverage here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin. He will race for a title against Martin Truex Jr.,
Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, and Joey Logano, that they will race for a title. Those 7 drivers will fight for a title. Until next time, so long here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll see you guys for one more race of the NASCAR Fastenal Cup Series at the Bristol Night Race.
See y'all real soon.
Remember when I said I was going to get more race reactions out? Well, here's another Anarch League race. How about that?